Amateur Radio News and Notes for March 7th, 2025. I'm Ed Kabek, November 2, Echo Charlie. In the log this week, we'll be talking about the Vienna Wireless Winterfest Hamfest this Sunday, March 9th, 2025. We'll be spotlighting a DXpedition for VU4AX in the Andaman Islands. We'll be talking about MVARC Nets on the air, what's happening with DX, giving a solar activity update. Also talk about upcoming contests and tell you about some interesting online radio content. Sunday, March 9th, 2025, the Vienna Wireless Society is hosting the 49th Winterfest Hamfest at Oakton High School, 2900 Sutton Road, Vienna, Virginia, 22181. This is one of the biggest Hamfests that's close to us here in Northern Virginia, and it's always a fun time. The Mount Vernon Amateur Radio Club has rented a table inside, so we'll be selling gear and letting folks know about the club. Tickets are $12 plus a service fee in advance and $15 at the door, so getting them online is a way to save a few bucks. Tailgating is $20 and includes an admission ticket. They also have a raffle where they're giving away a Yaesu FD-DX10 and an ICOM ID 5100A-D. If you're able to make it, plan on stopping by and saying hello. This is one of a small handful of Hamfests in the area still operating, so giving your support helps to ensure that it'll be there for years to come. Also, it's a great way to see old friends and make new ones. More information can be found at viennawireless.net/WP/Winterfest. Of note, this Sunday is when we spring forward into Eastern Daylight Time, so make sure to set your clock so you get there on time and don't miss any deals. We hope to see you there. A DXpedition spotlight for VU4AX, the Andaman Islands. This week brings a highly anticipated DXpedition to South Andaman Island in the Bay of Bengal to the east of the Indian subcontinent. This is a rare entity, particularly for North America, where it ranks number 28 on the Club Log Most Wanted list. It is a particular challenge due to the fact that the azimuthal path is nearly directly over the North Pole. The DX Adventure team plans on setting up on the western beach to improve their working conditions for North American contacts and will be using spider beam antennas on 10, 12, 15, 17, and 20 meters. They've indicated they'll be focusing on providing the best opportunities to North America as is possible, looking for band openings to exploit. The plan is for them to be running 6 stations 24 hours a day, starting on the 10th and continuing through the 20th. Due to regulations on the island, there will not be any 6-meter operations, as the government limits operations on that band to 25 watts on FM. The operating team includes 10 operators from Belgium and 2 operators from the Netherlands. This promises to be an exciting opportunity to get some particularly rare DX in your log. For more information about the DXpedition, check out their website at www.dx-adventure.com. Good luck! MVARC Nets on the air. We have our standard weekly nets, including our 2-meter FM net that is Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the repeater. Immediately following our regular net is our digital net that will be at the same frequency and using Yaesu System Fusion C4 FM. On the weekends, we have our HF nets, including the Mount Vernon Slow Speed CW Roundtable on Saturday and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. on 3.565 megahertz on CW. Usually we run about 12 to 15 words a minute, and we will slow down to whatever speed you're comfortable at. We'd love to see you there. Also, at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday is the Mount Vernon Amateur Radio Club's Cherry Tree Net at 3.920 megahertz lower sideband, and we'd love to have you join the conversation. There will be a lot of DX on the air in the next week. Stations on the air will include Cayman Islands, Cocos Keeling Islands, Andaman Islands, Jamaica, St. Maarten Island, Antigua, Comoro Islands, Solomon Islands, Sri Lanka, Benin, Senegal, Marcus Island, Minami, Tori, Shima Islands, and Antarctica. A calendar of DXpeditions can be found at dxnews.com/calendar. And now it's time for the solar activity update. As we go to press, the solar flux index, or SFI, was 149, and the estimated sunspot number was 147. Over the last week, the SFI has declined, and conditions have been excellent for HF propagation and are predicted to remain good. Solar activity has been low, with only low-level C-class flares being observed. Geomagnetic conditions are expected to be quiet today and unsettled to active tomorrow. There's only a 5% chance for S1 or greater solar radiation storms for the next few days, according to NOAA forecasts. In terms of radio blackouts, the chance for an R1 to R2 blackout is at 45%, and the chance for R3 or greater radio blackouts is only at 10%. No G1 or greater geomagnetic storms are expected, and no significant solar wind features are forecast. Conditions have been favorable overall, and the 10-meter band has been open every day with lots of DX on the bands. It remains a fantastic time for amateurs of all license classes to get on the air and work the world. Good sources of real-time solar information include spaceweatherlive.com, solarham.com. A good overview of conditions can be found at dx.qsl.net/propagation. To see D-layer absorption data and associated radio blackouts, go to the NOAA D-Region Absorption Predictions page, or DRAP page. Also, to see real-time maximum usable frequency, or MUF, and critical frequency, or FOF2, information from radiosonde data, check out prop.kc2g.com. Upcoming contests. This weekend brings the Novice Rig Roundup, the SARL VHF UHF FM contest, the Commonwealth or BERU contest, the DIG QSO Party, the AGCW QRP contest, the EA PSK 63 contest, the South American 10-meter contest, the Stewberry Top Band Challenge, the Oklahoma QSO Party, the Idaho QSO Party, the Wisconsin QSO Party, the Tesla Memorial HF CW contest, the UBA Spring contest, the FIRAC HF contest, the Yoda contest, the Classic Exchange contest, and the 4 States QRP second Sunday sprint. As always, the K1 USN SSTs, MSTs, and CWTs will also be on the air. The full contest calendar with events and exchanges can be found at contestcalendar.com. And we got a whole mess of interesting online radio content. For links, check out the written version of this post. But we got Ralph of Electronics for the Inquisitive Experimenter taking a look at how antenna tuners work to match your antenna rig via complex conjugate matching. Josh, KI6NAZ, takes a look at the CTR2 Mini and MIDI rig control devices. Michael, KB9VBR, does a POTA-ROVE in Wisconsin's Driftless region. Hayden, VK7HH, takes a look at the Li-Time 50 amp-hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Mike, K8MRD, builds a Yaesu FT891 Go bag with our armor lock cage. Steve, KM9G, takes a look at the new Retevis MA1 dual bander. And Matt, M0DQW, also takes a look at the Retevis MA1 full duplex 50-watt mobile rig. Mark, KD7DTS, and Ara, N6ARA, do multiple SOTA activations back-to-back. Sean, W9FFF, really likes a new antenna winder design and tells you all about it. Hayden, VK7HH, gives his favorite HTs on Amazon for 2025. Mike, K8MRD, talks RFI suppression for mobile operations. Paul, Oscar Mike 0 Echo Tango, takes a look at new firmware for the and high Z receive circuit for the micro pocket receiver. Josh, KI6NAZ, takes a look at the Intellitron HA1711S antenna and compares it with the MFJ Long Ranger. Forrest, KI7QCF, unboxes a new to him QRP rig and activates some POTA. Tim, K5OHY, unboxes a G90 and does some backyard POTA hunting. Sean, W9FFF, talks about whether you should be worried if your neighbor has a tower. Rob, N1NUG, fixes the problem with his Nano VNA. Hayden, VK7HH, lists his picks for the best antennas on Amazon. Craig, KM6LYW, talks about the latest version of his DigiPi suite. Kevin, 2E0 Whiskey Mike Golf, goes kayak portable on a salt marsh. George, VK2AOE, makes a waterfall display to accompany his Kenwood TS520. Dugbo, KD7DUG, activates Iron Mountain for SOTA and takes us along for the adventure. Tim, N7KOM, talks about the K6STR emergency backup antenna. Matt, M0DQW, shows you how to use an RTL SDR locally with a web browser-based software program. Sean, W9FFF, tears down a real potable antenna. Mike, K8RD, takes a look at the Nervizi Solar Epic foldable solar panels. And Steve, KM9G, takes a look at the Afridi power station. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us for Amateur Radio News and Notes, and hopefully you enjoyed the read aloud this time. If it's something you like, definitely let us know. Best 73, and hope to see you again next week. This is Ed for the Mount Vernon Amateur Radio Club, Amateur Radio call sign November 2 Echo Charlie. Have a great week.